Hi Capricorns, and welcome to your reading for June 2019. My name is Melanie. I apologise for the lateness of this reading. It's already the 7th of June. Anyway, this reading is for Sun, Moon and Rising sign Capricorns. It's a general reading, of course, so it may or may not resonate, so just take what you like and leave the rest. So there are 5 cards for my monthly spreads. The first card, they're representing the past and any past energy that may be relevant for this month. You have the 4 of Wands. The second card being about current month, current issues and situation. For this month, you have the 4 of Swords. The third card representing possible obstacles that may show up this month, the Empress. The fourth card along being about possible helpful tools this month, the 8 of Coins or the 8 of Pentacles. And the outcome card for this month is the Queen of Coins, otherwise known as the Queen of Pentacles. So interesting that you have 2 cards there of women in positions of, I guess, power and authority there. You have 2 4s, a couple of coins. Anyway, so starting with the first card there being about past energy and something that may have happened in the past, recent past or distant past that may be relevant this month. You have the 4 of Wands card. This is a beautiful card of celebration, of progress on a goal, of harmony, marriage, home and community, beauty, love being in the air, stability, of perhaps moving into a home or moving in together with someone and setting up home, setting up family, teamwork, possibly to do with some changes in your work life or a creative endeavor that is now that has been a cause for celebration and has created some sort of stability and progress towards a goal. There has been perhaps some important event in that way regarding work or relationships of some sort, and there's been some growth in that area, some new things coming into your life, some new additions, and that problems or problematic situation or relationships are on their way out, and now there's sort of real easier times ahead, and isn't that a happy feeling and a joyful kind of state to celebrate the progress and the completion of some sort of hard work that is now resulting in something a bit more solid, and you can be proud of that hard work. And it looks like that was hard in some way, or certainly required an effort, or there was some challenges getting there, because in the card of the current month, you have the 4 of Swords card. And this is a card of needing to recuperate, of really needing to rest, to seek perhaps some solitude, to retreat for a bit, to meditate, to relax, to contemplate. It's suggesting that a break is needed. You're needing to take some time out for yourself, and just rest after the war or some sort of turbulent, tricky times. And you need to sort of contemplate and kind of regroup and get yourself back together again, certainly mentally, and regaining a sense of mental security in your head and stability, and having this is a card of having good kind of rational thought and good organisation of ideas, which I think can really come when you create space and time for yourself to renew that and renew your kind of mental the life in your head and your mental energies and your thought processes. It's about being willing to sit with yourself and reflect on your thinking, reflect on your beliefs, to just pause for a bit. And it's only a temporary pause, but it is saying that you need to center yourself again to come back to a good, solid, grounded foundation. And you have those 2 4s cards there right next to each other. And 4s, if we think of four legs on a table or on a chair or something, or the foundations, the structure, real stability, 4 seasons, kind of thing, can represent sometimes stagnancy, but depending on the reading and the other cards and the situation. But it's about ultimately stability and solid ground and sort of staying the course. The third card along there representing what may be an obstacle this month, you have the Empress card. typically the Empress card is a very, I love this card. She's very sensual. She's very fertile. Sometimes this card is associated with pregnancy. It can be a card, she is in touch with her feminine essence, I would say, with her sexuality, with her feminine power. She's very much a matriarch, the mother. She's about luxury, pleasure, beauty, power, success. Actually not too dissimilar from the Queen of Coins that we have at the end there, representing sort of luxury and beauty. She's the Empress typically births something new. She's an older woman in a position of power. So although in this reading, in this spread, she's in a possible obstacle position there. So possibly be wary of a older woman in your life, maybe a mother figure, mother-in-law, auntie, female boss, or somebody who doesn't really matter what gender, but who embodies the energy of this card, who is a bit too overbearing, who is too overprotective, who is suffocating in some way, who is strangulating in some ways, and whether that's an outside person in your life, your real life, or something within you that is kind of squashing things, like, you know, and driving away something that could have otherwise been quite good. Maybe to, you know, with right next to that Four of Swords card there, you are needing some space right now, some boundaries to just kind of get back to yourself. And maybe there is someone in your life that is actually like, no, don't leave, no, you need my help, no. Is intrusive in some way, who embodies the energies otherwise of a female in a position of authority, who is a bit of a matriarch in some way, but can be over involved, overly affectionate. So maybe take that into consideration. The fourth card along in the position of what may be useful this month, useful tools, and you have the Eight of Coins, otherwise known as the Eight of Pentacles. And speaking of tools, in the Eight of Coins card, in other images of that card in other decks, there is a man on that card with tools in his hands, toiling away at one of the pentacles, one of those 8 pentacles or 8 coins. So maybe you actually need to use some tools in your life this month to get that rest and break that you need. So when I think of that, I think of what tools do you use for self-care or for good establishment of boundaries around you, so you can retreat and keep some, get into a reflective space. So do you actually go and meditate? Do you actually physically need to get away and get back to nature? Do you write? Do you paint? Do you go to therapy? Do you dance? You know, what tools and strategies do you use that may be very useful for you this month to kind of get back to yourself and kind of recuperate and regenerate? The Eight of Coins card is a card of a little bit of card of toiling away, of craftsmanship, of, you know, feeling like there's a repetitive nature of some of the work that you do, but you're needing to stay on that path, whatever it is that you've been working on, and have set up some sort of structure around, despite the monotonous nature of it. But I am thinking of tools very much, to use some personal tools that you have in your toolbox, your kind of wellness toolkit or toolbox, to draw on this month, to take some time out for yourself and to kind of really celebrate quietly within yourself some of the achievements that you've made, as we can see with that Four of Wands card there. The outcome card for the month for you guys is the Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Coins. So here we have another feminine kind of energy, can represent a earth sign female in your life, earth signs being Capricorn, Virgo, and what's the other one? Taurus. Sorry, Taurians, anyone watching who has Taurus in their chart. So like the Empress, this is a woman who's very opulent. She's rich. She's rich in many ways. She's very generous. There's a sense of luxury, like pomp, security, dignity, very graceful, fertility again, abundance kind of thing, of hard work paying off. And now able to kind of be in a space of real enjoyment and appreciation of those kind of beautiful, opulent, luxurious things, whether that's physical things, and the pentacles are to do with the physical, practical things in one's life, objects, money, property, businesses, tangible things, and kind of, and there's this real sense of groundedness with this card as well, in that kind of security. Sometimes too it can be about generosity, charity, giving and receiving. Now that she has, or you have, accumulated some stuff, you're feeling quite abundance, it is possible for you to share some of that with other people, or share some of your efforts, share some of your time, and of perhaps real family connections and family orientation. Now that you've kind of come through some stuff, you've established some sort of really grounded endeavor or enterprise in your life. Maybe that has been with your family. You guys have set up, some sort of business, or you've used family money, old family money, to create something, and now you are feeling quite abundant and quite sort of fertile in what you have created, and what is on what do you have, and now you're sort of settling into that. There's a real kind of sense of satisfaction and enjoyment and appreciation of what you have created in your life. So I think you need to rest and recover for a bit, keep your boundaries up, use some good tools, and then you'll come out at the end feeling quite deeply satisfied and enriched, whether that's actually physically rich, so to speak, or enriched internally, or enriched in your relationships, and including your relationship with yourself and your relationship with God or the universe, or however you conceptualize that. Finally, Capricorns, I'm just going to read from this little book that comes along with the cards, the Dreamtime Reading Cards. The Dreamtime is the Aboriginal Australian spiritual belief system. I really love these cards visually, the beautiful Aboriginal dot paintings, but also the words, the meaning behind each cards. So the card that came through for you guys is called Cicada, and that represents transformation. Of all the insects that go through major transformations, the cicada is the one that spends the longest time in its chrysalis form. The cicada remains underground in its shell for many years before it crawls out, under the protection of the moon, to shed its hard casing and let its wings burst out for the first time, giving it the gifts of flight and freedom. Cicadas are a common sight and sound of the summer. As the weather heats up, these small insects make their way out of the ground and up into the plants and trees. There they are surrounded by their kin, mating, singing and communicating. The cicada's message is one of transformation. It asks you to trust in your personal growth. You are always growing and changing. However, you may be experiencing a time of stagnation when you are struggling to find your path or purpose. And I just wonder about just not getting too stuck there with that Four of Swords card, or the other four there, stability versus stagnation. There may be external factors that seem to be pushing you in directions you are not ready for. I would say possibly that could be the Empress. Be wary of that person or factors. Now is the time to find your voice, speak your truth, and let your heart's song be heard. Let yourself discard the shell that no longer fits, and allow yourself to be unlimited, free to be who it is that you are always meant to be. And what a rich place that is, I think, when you get to that, And of course I'm thinking of the Queen of Coins there. Free to be who it is that you were always meant to be, really kind of settling into that abundant space if you're really in alignment with that. And it looks like you have set up something in your life that is giving you that kind of stability and sense of security in yourself and perhaps in your life, certainly this month. Anyway, that's one interpretation. So thank you so much for watching, listening to this reading. I'm very grateful you've given it your attention, your time. I endeavour to get onto the July readings before July. That is my goal, but all the best for the rest of June.